I'm currently trying to read my physical TBR one reading vlog at a time. We started the year with 449 unread books on my shelf, which is slightly less than last year, which is an improvement since I'm not on a book buying ban. My goal is just to get to the unread books that have been on there for way too long. So this is the third reading vlog for the year. The jar will tell me which books I have to read and I can decide to read them or get rid of them, so unhaul them. So let's get to it. So far the year has been really nice to me, honestly. It has not been that bad. We have gone down by 5 papers, which is, you know, better than nothing. And we're hoping that this month it's going to be a good one also, because so far it's been pretty good. But okay, blue is sci-fi, which honestly I used to read a ton of, and I have not been reading a ton of. I don't think I picked one last year at all through the whole year, so it is time, absolutely. So I don't know. I never know. What am I reading? Neverworld Wakes. I think I actually know that one. It's not that old, so let's go grab it. So my sci-fi are there. And I know it's a hardcover. There you go. Okay, oh, I need to remove that sticker. I don't know why I didn't remove it before putting the book on my shelf. These are so annoying. Oh, it's easy to remove. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, Neverworld Wake. Did I write Wakes? I did. Writing all those down, let me tell you, do not recommend. It was a lot of work, so there are a few mistakes here and there, but I believe this one is YA sci-fi, and it was recommended to me because I said I liked time loops. I think that's what this one is. I mean, I'm about to find out. And I believe you're following a few different teenagers who are in between life and death, and they have to choose one of them to be the one that will survive. It was recommended to me, I think 2 years ago, so I got it. It's not super long, it's 300 and something pages, but it's YA, so it should be pretty readable. I'm excited to solve that mystery. Who's gonna survive? Who's gonna die? Speaking of mystery, I wanted to say thank you to June's Journey for sponsoring this video. They are a free to download hidden object game that is set in 1920s, so you get the music to go with it, the cute decor, all the glamorous setting. You're trying to solve the murder of your own sister, and throughout the game you discover a lot of family secrets, and you also get the chance to decorate your island while you're at it. You get a list of objects to find on the screen, and it becomes more and more challenging over time with more and more objects to find. I like that I get to decide to be as competitive as I feel like. Some days I just want to do it relaxing, but sometimes I try to do it as fast as possible. But what's really exciting is that from April to June, you get the chance to be joined by Hercule Poirot, the detective from Agatha Christie's novels. So you can unravel some new mysteries based on some of her most popular books, which I think is extra fun because I grew up reading some of her novels, so to get the chance to also be a detective and figure it out sounds even better. I'll put all the information in the description box, definitely check it out. I'll also put the QR code on the screen if you prefer. You can try it out for yourself. Now on that note, let's go and see if I can find some cats and annoy them while reading, obviously. This is my view. 1, 2, 3, 4. A bunch of cats. A bunch of cats. Since when are you cuddly? Cérémonie avec l'âge. Hear me out. This was really good. How did I not hear about this? I'm so glad whoever you are that recommended this to me, because oh my gosh, I spent the whole book trying to figure out what was going on, and I was nowhere near the truth. I think I'm gonna say 4.25, but I'm gonna give myself some time. Maybe I'll run it up because, again, so much fun. It's YA, so very readable. But I had no idea the whole time where the plot was going, like in the best way possible. So I was right. Yes, it's a group of teenagers, but a year ago they kind of split apart, or the main character kind of split apart because her boyfriend died. Mysterious circumstances in school, kind of rich kid kind of school. And her family took her out. You know, she spent a lot of time with family instead, but then it's a year later, it's someone's birthday. So she decides to go because she wants to ask like if they know anything, because the death was ruled as a suicide, or like it was covered up because, you know, rich kids. So that's what happened. She goes there and then they get in the same car, they get in an accident, they don't realize right away. But then this man shows up and tells them, you're all dead. That's page 29. And that's how it starts. But again, it goes in directions I never knew where the book was going to go. I can't even talk. And I don't want to tell you too much because honestly, you want to go and just have fun with it. But they're stuck in a time loop for, you can tell, 11.2 hours that repeats itself. And I'm just going to say that there's some time traveling happening. And I feel like anything else I will tell you will just ruin the enjoyment. Just everyone has secrets. And they have to figure out what happened because they have to choose one person to be saved, right? I was scared it was going to be the main female character because people are calling her Sister B, like Beatrice, because she's basically a nun. She's so nice to everyone, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, hopefully it's not the reason they're picking her kind of thing. I'm not going to tell you who was picked, but I'm just saying that was my fear. And then you get into more of the mystery of what happened to her boyfriend, Jim, and yeah, I can't tell you anything else about the plot, but it was so good. I, again, could not put it down. This year I'm having the time of my life. Every book I pick is good. Probably shouldn't say that out loud just in case the jar hears me. But listen, this is great. I don't even know what else to say because, again, everything else will be a spoiler. Just if you like sci-fi, I mean, it's sci-fi, but like it's not hard sci-fi. Yeah, if you want a really interesting, I feel like this would be a good movie or TV show, like that nobody's really heard of, but then you watch it, you're like, wow, this was really good. For now, it's going to be a 4.25. Big surprise for me, for sure. And if you like any kind of like time loop, time travel books, give this one a shot. Definitely did not see every twist coming. And I don't know what else to tell you. It was good. It was good. Let me grab the jar because it's over there. I feel like I should have shown you the cover better, but look at this. And I like that they even do this. I'm not telling you why, but I'm shocked that I didn't hear about this because this is like right up my alley. I love, again, time loop, sci-fi, kind of weird books. Yeah. Can you hear Claudia yelling? As always. Okay, so I grabbed the jar. Girl. Oh my god, I see a black paw too. I'm not showing you some ass in here. There's like the camera and everything. So, pink. Pink is my everything else shelf. So, I can see everything you ever wanted. Isn't it sci-fi though? I feel like I did these papers so late. My brain was not working. Let me check for it. I see it right here. This is sci-fi. I need to make a new paper because yeah, I knew it. I knew it wasn't the right color. So I'm reading a second sci-fi. Okay. I mean, maybe no, it is sci-fi. I guess I'll find out because sometimes some books are like in between genres. This one I bought because someone said it had similar vibes to Who Have Never Known Men, which whenever someone compares a book to another book, I feel like I rarely agree. I mean, you have to be specific, like which part, you know? But in this one, the person feels like her job is kind of pointless, and then she hears about this program where you can go and live on a different planet. I think that's what it was. It's not too long, so we're gonna see how it goes. Actually, let me read the first couple pages, maybe the first chapter or something. Okay, so I read the first like chapter, I guess, and then you go to 7 years ago. I mean, it starts on Earth 8 years ago, and then the next chapter is saying 7 years ago. So the other planet is called Nyx, which for makeup lovers, that is confusing. But it's a smaller planet than Earth that can be reached underwater through a wormhole in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so it starts 8 years ago. She hears about it, and then she goes there 7 years ago. So I'm assuming eventually we're going to get to present time 7 years later when she's there. Technically, that sounds right up my alley. I like sci-fi. I'm just a little skeptical because when someone compares something to a book you've loved, which part was similar? Anyway, I mean, it can't be that bad because I'm already having a great time this week. So book number 2, we'll see if it's blue or pink. feel like that sounds like a blue, so I might have to change that, but it's okay. I'm looking extra shiny while I'm letting my skincare sink in. Let me review this book because wow, not a good wow. You follow my character. She is very much depressed. She hates her life. She hates her job. She thinks it's useless, doesn't bring anything to the world. Shout out to bullshit jobs, the nonfiction on the topic. So she's, you know, she thinks she's a terrible person also, and she's probably always been depressed. So she decides to go and apply to go on Nix. And I mean, realistically, who really would want to go on one-way ticket on a different planet, right? And I feel like until the ending, it felt more like Fleabag without the humor, which is the best part, than I Would Have Never Known Men. There's even at one point a fox crossing the street. It was like, instead of a sexy priest, though, you got a different planet to move to. Listen, I don't think you're not meant to find her likable. Maybe some people will find her relatable. I think this would be more the cup of tea of someone that enjoys reading like lit fic with depressed main characters that are, you know, lost in life, than me that went into it wanting sci-fi, you know? It's more speculative fiction anyway than sci-fi. I don't want to spoil too much plot-wise, but she goes through, you know, you see her going through the interviews to be accepted. And yeah, like I have mentioned, you start 8 years prior, a year before she moved to the other planet, and then eventually you go to present time, which is when she's there 7 years later. And I will say the last portion is probably the portion that people said was a bit more like I Have Never Known Men, about trying to find answers about life at this point, you know, when you're disconnected from everything, from civilization, what is there to life, and having like unanswered questions. That's probably like the last, I don't know, 30 pages is probably what's similar in why people said that. Because the whole book, I was like, why are people saying that, until I finished the book. I was like, okay, now I get it. I still wouldn't recommend reading this because you enjoyed the other book though, but maybe. Yeah, I kind of hated it. I didn't like her. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like what the story did until the last portion, which I still wouldn't say it was better, but I don't know. But it's not a bad book at the same time. So I think it's going to be one of those books that I'm not too sure how I feel. I'm going to give myself maybe a bit more time. I feel like either a generous 3. I feel like lately giving a book 2-star feels harsh. Like I feel like I look back on books I gave 2-star to, and it's because I really don't like them. But 3 feels like I kind of liked it. I don't know. I'm going to give myself a few days, but it wasn't a huge hit. Yeah. It's not even that she's unlikable, because I definitely love books sometimes with, like, to be fair, I think a lot of female characters that are more complex are called unlikable, but I don't think it was that for her. She's just in a terrible place and keeps making terrible decisions. Let's pick my third book. I think we have time for a third one, right? Let's do it. What do you want? Voila. Oh my gosh. We're back. Is it seriously going to be a 3 sci-fi book? I mean, was this sci-fi or not? I feel like it doesn't really matter, honestly, what it is, but we have a 3rd sci-fi. I can't see on the screen, it's backward. The Grace Year. I'm kind of confused because on the back it says a speculative YA thriller in the vein of The Hunger Games and The Power, which are both sci-fi. So is this speculative fiction or is it sci-fi? Either way, I don't think it matters, but it's another YA, so it shouldn't be too long. It's like 400 pages, but it's YA, so I feel like they're written so big and they're usually very readable. I haven't read a dystopian in a while. I believe this one, it starts, yeah, it's like a very patriarchal, sexist kind of society. and when they're 16, they're sent in the woods for like the grace year, and when they come back, they're like very different and they're ready to get married. I think they have to use up their magic or something. Either way, this is giving like Puritan vibes, like Puritan times, so we'll try it. It's pink. What I do, I hide them under so they can't steal them. I finished A Grace Year and it took me by surprise because in the beginning there were a few things that I wasn't sure about, and by the end the author won me over. Like, you know when sometimes you're like, oh, I don't really want you to go in that direction that you're seemingly going to. Nope. Last second switcheroo that worked on me. So I wasn't too far off with what I remembered about the premise. It was a little bit like Puritan time, the witches, even like the village, because there are people in the woods, evil people in the woods. So you follow a female character, and she grew up in this very isolated, really, society, mostly like a village, really. And the girls, when they hit 16, they are sent into the woods for the grace year, where they will be using up their magic. They have to survive for a year in the woods. There's like a fence around them. And outside the fence, there are poachers that try to kidnap them, torture them, and murder them. So they have to, you know, stay there, use up their magic, and then come back to their town, and now they're ready to get married, blah blah. So it's very strict society. The main female character at first definitely gives like not like the girls vibes, which I was like, ugh, I feel like I haven't read a YA dystopian in a while, but I'm not in the mood to read that. But there's definitely like characters growth. It's definitely on purpose. The fact that again it's very patriarchal, so the women are made to not trust each other, kind of hate each other, and that's why she feels like, oh, all the other girls blah blah, and she only has 2 male friends. I'm like, ugh. But that's again part of her character's growth. So for a year she has to survive just the girls in the woods, and a lot of things happen. I don't want to say too much, but it plays a lot with like, is the magic real? Is it not? Is it just something that they're saying to control the girls? So that's kind of what you play with throughout the story. I will say that there's a romance, which is like obvious, it's not a spoiler, which made me a little wary, because in that kind of context, what's gonna happen, I'm not gonna, I mean, I can spoil anything in the comment section as always, but I'm not gonna spoil what happens with that. But by the end, again, the author won me over, and I was like, okay. So towards the middle though, I was going towards a 3, and then by the end I think I gave it a 4-star. I feel like any book though that you compare to another book, it's always a little like the Hunger Games, I guess. I mean, they're gonna live in the woods, they're gonna be hungry, and they don't trust each other, and then, you know, evil people in the woods, fine. And the power, again, if they have magic, I guess there's this play with that. But I just really like how she also talked about, you know, the girls under these kind of society will not trust each other, and like that's why they will be spying. There's this pressure to be, you know, good, and they're brainwashed from birth. So there's this whole thing of then, you know, being independent for a year and then being ready to come home, or the ones that make it, because again, it's a big thing that not every girl will make it, but you're not allowed to talk about what happened when you come back. So honestly, surprised by how much I ended up enjoying it by the end. There were a few moments I wasn't sure about, but again, the author, I appreciated what she ended up doing with at least most of these things. So if you are in the mood for a YA dystopian, again, a little bit, the thing is, this one was a blue paper, and honestly, I feel like it's almost more of a pink paper. So I feel like I'm coming back to like this. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I feel like this could be a blue paper, this could be a pink paper. Either way, so it balances itself out. So out of the 3, obviously my favorite is Neverwake. I just so pleasantly surprised with this one. So that one was a 4.25. This one I'm going to round up to a 3 because there were some good parts. I just don't really think I'm the target audience. So again, if you're more like literary fiction girly that likes to read more depressed characters trying to, you know, find meaning to their lives by apparently going on a different planet and completely isolating yourself. And then this one I will be giving it, I'm going to round it up to a 4. So I had a great time, and now we have to do my favorite part in here, which is putting the papers in the container. So like I said, Neverworld Wakes, that was great. Everything You Ever Wanted was so-so, but I can see the appeal, and the Grace Year, which again I enjoyed. So we're technically, actually this year finally it's multiple colors. Last year was like straight up just green. So we're now at 8 books read during this challenge. Read or unhauled, actually. But 8, and we were at 449, so we're at 441 now. But the thing is, I did read other books right on my shelves throughout the year already. I checked quickly. I think I'm at almost 25 books that were on my shelves prior to this year that I ended up reading so far this year. So it's going faster than I expected. I've been doing a lot of fun challenges just to get to my physical TBR, and it's working. And so far I'm having a great time this year. So I think it's another successful read it and haul it. I read 3, and I don't think I'm going to unhaul any of them because, again, I didn't like hate this. I can see the appeal. It just wasn't what I expected. I feel like sometimes going into the book with any expectation is the wrong way to do it. But like, I wouldn't have picked it up if no one had compared it to the other book that I enjoyed, but it is what it is. Once again, thank you to June's Journey for sponsoring this video. Like I said, the link will be in the description box, or I'll have the QR code on the screen. Definitely check it out if you also want to try it. And I will see you in my next vlog because I'm starting one right now and it's going to be a big book. So I'll see you there.